My teisho today is on case 6 of the Hekiganroku, or the Blue Cliff Record. And this case lacks the usual introduction by Master Ango, so I wrote my own, and I'll read it to you now. It is the dream of deluded people to go beyond delusion, and it is the life of awakened beings to realize delusion throughout delusion. When unskilled people pinch a nail, they cannot see that point and head are of a piece. But a person of means drives it home with the blow of a weightless hammer. To see what I mean, check out Master Uman. And now for the main case. Uman said, I don't ask about before the 15th day. Try to say something about after the 15th day. Then Uman himself answered for everyone, saying, every day is a good day. And finally, Secho's verse on the case. He throws away 1, picks up 7. Above, below, and in the 4 directions, there is no comparison. Placidly walking along, he treads down the sound of the flowing stream. His relaxed gaze descries the tracks of flying birds. The grasses grow thick, the mists overhang. Round Subhuti's cliff, the flowers make a mess. I snap my fingers. How lamentable is shunyata. Don't make a move. If you move, 30 blows. So this case features Master Uman, who was born in about the year 864, so far as we know. He died in 949. He had numerous disciples and is famed for his really short, sharp, single-word responses to monks' questions. And these tiny teachings are very greatly admired in the Zen world, which helps explain why he appears in 14 of the 100 cases of the Blue Cliff Record, more than any other figure. It's a testament to the profundity of both his insight and his skill as a teacher. So let me repeat the main case. Uman said, I don't ask you about before the 15th day. Try to say something about after the 15th day. Uman himself answered for everyone, saying, every day is a good day. So, one of our first questions in this case typically is to wonder what this 15th day is all about. Seems pretty obscure. And you can look at it in different ways. It could be the day you were born. It could be the day you die. It could refer to your entire life. It could refer to enlightenment, awakening, kensho. The 15th day in the ancient Chinese lunar calendar was the day of the full moon. And if you know anything about Zen, you know that a very long-standing trope of the full moon it's a trope for awakening or enlightenment. So in effect, Uman is saying, I don't ask you about how things are before awakening. Give me a word or two about after awakening. Well, that's pretty difficult to do if you're not already awakened. Awakened people can tell you what it's like, they can describe it, and they do so all the time. But it's kind of like hearing a description of what chocolate tastes like. If you haven't tasted chocolate yourself, words just aren't going to make it clear to you. But Uman goes straight ahead and tells us that after awakening, every day is a good day. And you think, well, I know what a good day is. In the conventional sense, it's a good day if I get a raise at work, or it's a good day if I get the job that I wanted, or it's a good day if I'm accepted at the college that I wanted to go to, or it's a good day if I win hundreds or maybe thousands at the casino, and it's a really, really good day if I win millions in the lottery. And this is what we all want, right? We all want to have good days. We all somehow vaguely believe, in fact, that it's possible to have a continuous string of them if we just manage things well, manage things in a way that suits our best interests, or what we think are our best interests. And you can even argue from one perspective, the Buddha wanted nothing but good days for himself and all sentient beings. Unfortunately, there are only a certain number of good days to go around. There's a problem with the good day supply chain. If you could go to the store to buy good days, you might go there and discover that the shelves are bare because people have been panic buying good days and trying to store them up in the attic in the basement. There are no good days for you, and all that's left are bad days. And, don't give me this every day is a good day when I look around the world and I see there are forever chemicals in our drinking water and in our bodies. When I see that climate change is wreaking havoc with our environment. Or when I see that Gazans are being bombed into dust. Or the Sudanese are experiencing famine. I mean, even if these terrible things are not happening to us directly, we can still have a bad day indirectly. I think of the phenomenon of doom scrolling. Some people just get addicted to others' suffering and they just cannot look away and they just keep doing it. And unfortunately, this is a sign of a form of neuroticism. And instead of merely keeping you informed about world affairs, doom scrolling produces greater levels of uncertainty, anxiety, sorrow, grief. So, in depression, what are we going to do about these bad days, especially in the face of Uman's claim that every day is a good day? I mean, just right here in my own home, I'm wondering right now as I record this video whether the mic is picking up the gurgling sound of the sump pump. We've just had rainstorm after rainstorm after rainstorm here, and the ground is saturated. And because we live so close to Lake Michigan, our soil is very sandy and the water just sinks right through. The sump pump is going like every 2 minutes. A lot of rain, and then the sump pump failed, and I had to go down like 3 times in the middle of the night to fix it. I was not having a good day. So when we think about Uman's statement that every day is a good day, we think that starts to get a little messy, doesn't it? Thinking about what a good day must mean. It starts to get a little muddy because there are just some days we can't call good. And even when things do conform to our preferences, and we think, yep, that was a good day, the longer we think about it, the more the good day shine starts to fade, gets a bit tarnished. I mentioned winning the jackpot at the casino, typically seen as kind of a good day, I guess. But if you think about it, there would have been no jackpot for you to win if a lot of other people had not lost their money, if a lot of other people hadn't had, let's say, bad days at the casino. Now you can say, well, it's all a game of luck. Okay. Are you being honest with yourself? Are you really contented with the idea that your gain, your happiness at the expense of others is acceptable? There's another example that comes immediately to mind. I think every human being experiences this at one time or another, and that's the so-called love triangle. So let's say you're in love with a woman, and but the problem is she's in love with someone else, and so you're sad and you have a lot of bad days because the love is not reciprocated. And then one day she changes her mind, and she moves in with you because she has decided she's in love with you now. Well, that's a good day. Finally, you have what you want. And then you find out that her former partner is now wasting himself away with drink, binge watching Hulu on a second-hand couch. He's miserable because you had a good day. Now, my point is just to think about how subjective our judgments about what constitutes a good day actually are. And if we do that, then that's maybe when we can start to understand that those judgments they're made in arrears, okay? That is, we don't know that a day is good until after it has happened, and we can evaluate whether it conforms to our personal preferences or not. It's a good day if you get what you wanted. It's a good day if you got rid of something or someone you didn't like. And you further might realize that no matter what you do, you can never have a continuous, ongoing string of good days. No matter what you do, you're going to have some bad days. And we all know this. So how can Uman claim that every day is a good day? Is he just posturing? Or does he actually see something that's different from what everyone else sees? Is he saying that being awakened means that you coast along on a frictionless path of bliss that is somehow immune to bad days? Is Uman saying that once you are enlightened, you see the world and all experiences as somehow wonderful, sweet, and good, no matter what happens? It's like when people say it's all good, no matter what's going on. And note, I think this is kind of funny. People say it's all good only when things are not good. In fact, one of the things that can happen to Zen practitioners is that after a while they start to let go of their kind of simplistic notions of what is good or what is bad, what's right and what's wrong. It's not so clear. And they start to develop a level of, let's say, equanimity. And that's great. But it also puts them in kind of a risky position. Because when you have developed some bit of equanimity, it's very tempting to convince yourself at that point that nothing bothers you anymore. And such people dismiss their own and others' suffering. You know, it's like you're walking down the sidewalk on a hot summer day and you drop your ice cream cone on the sidewalk. And a passerby says, "Oh, what a shame. I'm so sorry that happened." And you say, "It's all good." Well, because you know you can buy another one if you really want to. But of course, when you say it's all good, you're kind of obscuring the reality of the experience, which is that it isn't very good. You don't get to eat that delicious ice cream that you wanted and that you paid for with your hard-earned money. And now there's a big sticky mess on the sidewalk to boot. So you could say it's all good until the cows come home, but that's not yet genuine equanimity. Equanimity is not a mask that you put on when bad things happen. Equanimity is not a game of pretending that you're above it all. Equanimity is when you can just be yourself at any given moment. Sometimes, if you look closely at the lives of people who we assume must be enlightened, you see that they still experience things like grief or passion or anger or sorrow or disappointment or uncertainty. All these things that we do not associate with good days. They still obviously cling to some things. Sometimes they can make us wonder whether they really are enlightened or not. We may even wonder if enlightenment is even a real thing. It is. It's just that our teachers, Zen masters, are just so disappointingly human. On the other hand, if you think about it, do you really want enlightenment to mean that you have to live a life of emotional flatness? Do you really want to be a person who's no fun at parties? Do you want a teacher who seems to have no connection to life as it is actually lived? See, our practice is not about escaping life. It's not about throwing ourselves headlong into some slap-happy state of bliss. It's about appreciating this life just as it is, directly and honestly. In my opinion, the real gift of Zen is that it brings us as close as we can be, as intimate as we can be with our lives, just as they are. So, we might reject the idea that Umon's good days are all about having more and better stuff, winning the lottery, driving a fancy car, and so on. That seems obvious. And we might also reject the idea that Umon's good days are based on a faulty presumption of equanimity that just can't stand up to the actual, real wear and tear of life as it really happens. We can't take seriously someone who pretends that hurt and grief are not part of the reality of being a human being. So what accounts for Umon saying that every day is a good day, when clearly a good day is neither the result of material gain, nor subjective evaluation, nor affectation of indifference? What kind of good is not compromised by our efforts to secure wealth or social position or fame? What kind of good includes the full range of human psychological responses to lived experience? Is there a good day out there that you, when you come down with cancer or your child dies? What is it about life after the 15th day that entitles Umon to say every day is a good day? Now, again, you might say you have no answer for that because you're not yet awakened. You have not arrived at the place that is beyond the 15th day. And I hear you. I understand. It is a conundrum. But I think you can know. In fact, I dare to say I think you do know. And do you know how I know? I know because I know you know your life right here and now. That's really all you need. Enlightenment isn't something that's outside of your life. It's not something added to your life. It's not a matter of somehow disentangling yourself from delusion. It's not something that's left over after you somehow quit living in samsara. And the way that we usually think of enlightenment is that it's all about getting beyond our fundamental delusion, our dualistic thoughts. But it's just the opposite. It's just the opposite. It is why in Genjo Koan, Dogen Zenji writes, sentient beings are deluded about enlightenment. And then he follows that up by saying that enlightened beings, Buddhas, are deeply enlightened about delusion. He doesn't say that Buddhas are beyond delusion. He says they are deeply enlightened about delusion. In other words, there is no end to delusion. It's simply not possible to awaken without fully embracing the dualistic, without fully penetrating, being intimate with samsara. And this is why when Uman gathers it all up and says every day is a good day, Master Engo commented. He said, though the frog jumps, he can't get out of the basket. That is a tremendously astute capping phrase for the koan. In other words, no matter what you do, what you say, what you think, that's your whole day from dawn until dusk. It's your whole life from birth until death. Try as you might to find some place that is beyond the 15th day. You'll still be a frog in an infinitely tall basket. Jump as you might, you'll never get out. And so Engo goes on to say that after the 15th day, you can't say it's the 16th day. Why not? Because there is only this. And because there is only this, every day is a good day. When every day is a good day, then you can just be who you are without any effort. You can just be yourself when a cat kills the beautiful songbirds you've been trying to feed. You can just be yourself when the neighbors argue loudly in the middle of the night and you have to call the police. If I were you, I would sit deeply with the day that you're having, not thinking good, not thinking bad, not thinking neither good nor bad. Don't torture yourself. If the day you're having is the day right now, not the day that is out the window or beyond the door of your life, you'll find what is truly good. And days then run into the one. The grasses there grow thick, and the mists overhang. You go wherever you want without hindrance, and without effort. Every day is a good day, even when you're sick and tired of all the rain. Thank you for listening.